Hello 910 IT and welcome to your Monday morning. For the Year 9s, I hope you had a good day at camp, and all the Year 10s, I hope you had a good transition week last week. Now today, this week, for your 2 lessons before your exam, you're going to keep working your exam revision, but I know most of you have finished your websites, so I'm going to give you some other stuff that I'd like you to do. Okay, so hopefully you're all finished with your websites, and now on some other things. Now, your main things you need to know, obviously, was hardware and software for your exam. You're also going to need to know all about how to use Microsoft Word and format reports appropriately using Microsoft Word. So you're going to have hardware and software, Microsoft Word, and that's going to be report formatting, as I mentioned. You'd need to know how to use Photoshop and the different elements of Photoshop. You also have Prezi, and you will also have to know how to use Blogger, and also about blogging and how it's important. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of activities that I think will help you get ready for the exam. That's why I'm creating this. So first we'll start with hardware and software. So I've got a task for you about hardware and software, and this is going to be for the cover off your Microsoft Word requirements as well. So you're going to have both Microsoft Word and hardware and software in the same activity. So when it comes to hardware and software, what you're going to do is actually write a Microsoft Word report about hardware and software. So there's a couple of things that you need to know how to do. So first of all, when it comes to Microsoft Word report, you're going to need to include a cover page on your report. You'll need to have a table of contents. You'll need to include heading styles, and they obviously generate your table of contents. You're going to need to have headers and footers, and you will also need to have cover page, table of content, heading style, headers and footers, and some references as well. Okay, so that's actually how you do the information you're going to need to have in your Microsoft Word report. Sorry, not the information, it's going to be the format you're going to need to include. Now, the topics you're going to need to include within that Microsoft Word report is the things that we've learned about hardware and software. Okay, so if you think about hardware and software, under hardware, you're going to need to know about storage, which includes hard drives, USB drives, RAM and ROM as well. You're going to need to know about input and output devices. You're going to need to know about the CPU, including the control unit and the arithmetic logic unit as well. So you're going to need to know both of those. And for software, so that's the first main section, hardware. Second section on software, you will need to know about different operating systems. So I'm just going to put OS here. Operating systems, you're going to need to know about different applications such as Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint. You're going to need to know about Prezi, and also other cloud-based applications as well. So you're going to have cloud-based applications. Okay, that's the main stuff you're going to need to know about. Now, with the cloud-based, don't forget you need to know why it's good. What's the difference between cloud-based applications and traditional applications? Now, the next thing you're going to need to do after you finish that, so it's a hardware and software report using Microsoft Word. You're going to need to move on to your next section of using Photoshop. Now I'm just going to work this out. Okay. So the next one is going to be about Photoshop. Now for Photoshop, I'm going to get you to do a pretty simple task. Okay, you're going to need to find a photo of your favourite celebrity, sports person or musician. and you're just going to need to put them into a new background. Now I'm just going to quickly find an example. This is an example of all the things you actually need to do using Microsoft Word. Using Photoshop. So we use that as your list of stuff. So under Photoshop, once you've created the photo, you will need to. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? Sorry, I'm just going to work out how to get this in a little bit bigger. Let's see. So this is the stuff you need to be able to do. So that's the stuff from the website that you've seen before that you need to know how to do. Okay, there we go. So you'll be able to use the selection tools. That's like the lasso and the lasso and the magic wand tool. You're going to need to be able to copy things to a new layer as well. So that's, remember, after you've got something selected, you right click, go copy to new layer. You need to be able to rearrange layers to make sure that things appear in the foreground or background. So you just click on the layer, hold it and drag it. Combine two images, that is where you go to window, tile and drag your layer across into a new one. You also need to be able to resize a layer using the free transform tools. So if you need to resize things to fit into new backgrounds. And obviously you need to be able to save an image as a JPEG so you can put it onto a blog or upload it somewhere else or send it to somebody. And then you need to be able to do all the other sort of stuff to manipulate the image, which the filters, overlays, recoloring, clone stamp and liquify as well. Okay, so what you need to do is find of your favorite celebrity musician or sports person and pop them into a new background. Now this is just a practice, just to make sure before Friday you're all good to go and ready to be able to quickly, in a short period of time, be able to manipulate an image. Okay, so find a photo of your favourite sports person, musician, or celebrity, put them on a new background, save as JPEG. Okay, so they're the 3 steps you're going to need to follow for that one. Now, once you've completed that, now that should only take, you really should only be spending maybe, I think 15-20 minutes on that, so try and get it done quickly. The next thing you're going to do is that's going to bring you onto your Prezi. Okay, now for Prezi, you're going to actually use that image that you created of your person. Okay, so upload the image that you saved as a JPEG into a new Prezi at prezi.com. Okay, you might put them in a circle, and then I want you to include 3 things about that celebrity. Now, if you're feeling particularly fancy, then try and incorporate them into the image, those elements or things about the person, and then create the paths to create the presentation in Prezi. Okay. Now, again, that should only try and do that in 15-20 minutes because you're going to need to move pretty quickly on it. Now, finally, once you've completed that, you're going to need to complete the last section, which is going to be on blogging. Now, for blogging, you don't actually need to know how to create a blog, or not as important as knowing how to create a blog, but more importantly is going to be what are blogs and how they're used. So think that in using your blog or using Microsoft Word or using Google Docs, answer that. Think about these questions. You might need to research this. So what is a blog? What is it used for? Now you might use, extend that into the next question as well, which is what are some examples of successful blogs or good blogs? And also, I want you to start thinking about how is it different to other websites. So, for example, you've made your Photoshop ones and you've uploaded things to them, but I want you to start thinking about how blogs and blogs online affected societies. So what that means is, what impacts has it had that people can go and create their own websites quite quickly and easily using blogs and then update them with information. If you're looking to get a good mark on this, I'd be recommending doing a little bit of research on world events and how bloggers report different world events. Okay, so you can use that as a starting point, those 4 questions. So once you've done that, you will have completed all your revision tasks. You should be comfortable with the main sections and things we've done. The Google site stuff you should be familiar with by now after having created the Google site. So good luck with the work. I'll see you tomorrow. You don't have to complete all this lesson. You'll have today and tomorrow to do it as well. But I will see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.